I'm going to talk about the weather. So, there's going to be lots of artificial habitats with moderate temperatures in the future. And if we remove CO2, we going might remove CO2 from the atmosphere. So, no, then that will cool the earth. So, no more natural climate changes and no more natural weather changes because of cloud seeding, and cloud seeding brings in less natural weather patterns, and CO2, CO carbon dioxide moving from the atmosphere brings colder climate. 5.5 degrees above average in Mississauga, 3.8 above average in Toronto, 4.8 or 5 degrees above average in Stouffville. Mm. So 2.2 degrees in downtown Toronto and Mississauga. In Stouffville is 2.6 above average. On Ontario gets way far below average, 5 degrees or 4 degrees below average, colder than 4 degrees below average. 2.3 degrees above average, 2.1 degrees above average in Mississauga and Toronto, 2.3 degrees above average, 1.5 degrees above average in Stouffville. Sunday below average most of southern Ontario with some above average because of lake breeze combined in the summertime, springtime. If the two lake breezes, two colder days to two lakes, it gets split apart because of warmer air is like water, warmer air just shifts to ship. No, it doesn't. So it's gonna be split. The colder it is, dodges the like mid of the lakes. Somewhere around here, this dodges the colder dodges the place. 5.1 degrees below average, 4.0 degrees below average in Toronto downtown, and 5.1 is in Mississauga below average, 5.6 below average in Scarborough. All around Toronto, most part of Toronto is 5 degrees, close to 5 degrees below average. Downtown Toronto and Toronto Islands near 3 degrees below average. So coldest is going to be 5.5 degrees below average. Toronto downtown is 4.2 degrees below average. Same thing in Toronto Island. Stouffville gets 6 degrees below average. Houston May 20, 4.2 degrees below average in Mississauga. Scarborough is 6 degrees below average. Toronto is around 5 to 6, including Toronto Islands, 5 to 6 degrees below average. Niagara Falls is 6.4 degrees below average. 3.5 degrees below average in Mississauga. Toronto and Toronto Islands 3 degrees below average. Scarborough and Stouffville is 4 degrees below average. 3.3 degrees below average in Toronto. Toronto Islands 4 degrees below average. 4 degrees below average in Mississauga. Downtown Toronto is 3.3 degrees below average. 5 degrees below average in Scarborough and Mississauga. Toronto and Toronto Islands 4 degrees below average. Cold blob in North Mississauga is 10 degrees below average. Toronto Island is 7 degrees or 8 degrees below average, including Toronto. Scarborough and Stouffville gets 9 degrees below average. 5 degrees below average in north of Toronto. Downtown Toronto and Toronto Islands 4 degrees below average. Below average. 6 or 7 degrees below average in northern Toronto. Toronto Island in Toronto is 5.25 degrees below average. 4.6 or 5 degrees below average in Mississauga. Stouffville is 5.3 degrees below average. Toronto and Toronto Island 3 degrees below average. Two point 3 degrees below average in Mississauga, 2.1 degrees below average in Toronto, and Toronto Island 2.0, and 3.6 below average. Everywhere is below average in Southern Ontario. Is 4 degrees below average. North of Toronto is 2 degrees below average, including Toronto, and Toronto Island is 3 degrees below average. So precipitation pattern. So rain and light to heavy rain in Toronto. London and London Kitchener is light to heavy rain. Mississauga gets light to heavy rain. Light rain in around Toronto with some cloudy skies possible. So cloudy skies with dark clouds brings. So Toronto could be like no rain, scattered rain, moving, nothing. Southern Ontario, Peterborough gets some light rain. Nothing in Barrie, Ontario gets nothing. And light rain in Barrie, Ontario, Toronto, and even Pickering could get some light rain. Light rain. Light to moderate rain all around Toronto. Barrie, Ontario gets some light rain. Like eastern Toronto get some light to moderate rain. Western Ontario get some light to little bit of moderate rain, and north to south, north and south central Toronto is light to moderate rain. Mississauga, Mississauga could get some light to moderate rain. Dark clouds possible in like Mississauga with some light rain in Hamilton, Ontario. Peterborough gets some light rain. Line of rain hitting all around East Toronto. We get some bordering rain lines, middle of the rain line. Could get some rain. Not as a dry weather. Light rain around Toronto, most of Toronto except southern Scarborough. Gets this lake is around the lake is having light to moderate rain. Light rain around Toronto except Mississauga, Brampton. Light rain around Toronto. Nothing. So total rainfall. Next. So Toronto, all around Toronto could get some 12 to 14 millimeters of rain on Saturday, whole day. Whole days around Toronto is 43, 0, like half a millimeters of rain in Toronto. Scarborough could get some 4 millimeters of rain, but Western Toronto could get some less than 2.5 millimeters of rain. Mm. Southern Peterborough could get some rain, 1 millimeter, around like next storm. So 6 to 9 millimeters of rain around Toronto. Niagara Falls could get, including Niagara Falls could get some 9 millimeters of rain. So Toronto, all around Toronto could get some 20 to 25 millimeters of rain. Niagara Falls could get some 10 millimeters of rain. Five, 45 millimeters of rain in Toronto. Five to 3 millimeters, 3 to 5 millimeters of rain around Toronto. Hamilton gets 1 millimeters of rain, millimeter, less than millimeters of rain in this. Less than millimeters of rain. Making it. So in all around Toronto, could get some 2 to 4 millimeters of rain. So temperature like